So one of the important point coming under block number 3 is controlling function. In the previous blocks we discussed about planning, staffing and directing. Here we are going to discuss the controlling function. So I already told that planning and controlling should go hand in hand. So these two functions are very much important as far as an organization is concerned, right? So controlling is a goal oriented function that it ensures an organization resources are being used effectively and efficiently for the achievement of predetermined goals. So through the controlling function, the organization is making sure that its resources are effectively as well as efficiently used so that it can achieve its predetermined goal, right? So there are steps involved in the controlling process. So the first step is setting performance standards. So you have to set the standard, what you have to achieve. On that basis you have to set a performance standard. Then you have to measure the actual performance. So the setting of performance standard is happening at the planning phase, right? So on that basis we have carried out the function, and once we reach the controlling function you will get an actual knowledge about the performance, right? So now you have to measure the actual performance. Next step is you have to compare the actual performance with the standard. So the standard performance you have set at the planning function, so that we have to uh, evaluate with the or compare with the actual performance, right? Then after that analysis you will get to know the deviation, that is your predetermined goal is achieved or not. So you will get to know. So if any deviation you have to take the corrective action. So this is the way it's happening in an organization. In our life also it's like that. We always have a setting a standard, and on that basis we'll go ahead with the plan, and once you reach the end process you will get to know the actual result. Okay, once you get the actual result you will compare with it the predetermined goal. So then you will get to know where you fail, or what was the end result. Is it a good one or a bad one or better than the predetermined one? So you will get to know about that. On that basis you have to analyze it. Okay, so once you are getting analyzing the deviations, you will get a chance to rectify it. So then again we will go with the process. So that's the way the controlling process is happening, right? So what are the characteristics of control? Control is a continuous process. It is a management process. It is embedded in high each level. So that is, it's a pervasive one. So the controlling function is not only in one department. It's applicable at every function, that is in the planning, organizing, marketing, directing, and all these areas. This controlling function is needed, right? Then controlling is a forward looking one. It's a forward looking one. It's closely linked with planning, that I told. If you have a proper plan but you fail to control it properly, then the entire plan will go south, right? So that is the thing. So these two things have to go hand in hand. So an effective control, effective planning, both should be there, then only you will get an effective result. So control is a tool for achieving organizational activity. So these are some of the important characteristics of control, right? Now let's look into the techniques of control. There are different techniques of control. So first is Gantt chart. Okay, so Gantt chart is an instrument that helps the manager in planning and controlling simple project. Okay, so looking into the Gantt chart here, we can easily make out that the planning activity, that is for scheduled from January 2017 to March 2017. Okay, so from looking into this Gantt chart, if it is completed within March 17, that means they are ahead of the schedule. So after April 2017 only this planning activity is getting completed, that means they are lagging behind time. Okay, so otherwise if it is completed on or before March 2017, that is its on time. Okay, so this is the way, and manager can easily identify each activity and the progress happening in each activity, right? So that is the importance of simple Gantt chart. So these all are control measures that are commonly used when we are dealing with a controlling of a project. Then come the budgetary control. Budgetary control is another way of preparing budgets for the future period and comparing that with the actual performance, and if there is any deviation then they will go for the corrective action. So there is a step related to that. First they have to prepare the budget for that particular activity, then compare it with the actual performance, and then if there is any deviation, corrective action. So these are the steps involved. There are different types of budgetary control. One is operational budget, then cash flow budget, and capital expenditure budget. You have to remember the terms along with the definitions only. Then what are the advantages and disadvantages of this budgetary control? That is, it is an effective tool for measuring the performance. It improves the efficiency. Discipline can bring discipline. It improves coordination. At the same time, disadvantages means it can lead to the complacency among the employees who are more talented, then conflicting departmental goals. So these are some of the disadvantages, right? Now coming to the another important technique, that is break even analysis. So you know that break even is a point where the sales revenue equal to the total cost. That means you have invested 2 lakh rupees and you got 2 lakh rupees as return. That means you have neither profit nor loss. So that is known as a break even point. So it is also acting as a tool for predicting the future profit or losses. So it is a point that can be shown using a graph or by using the formula. Then another important techniques are PERT and CPM. So PERT means program evaluation and review technique, and CPM is critical path method. So these two are focusing on project completion, and PERT is focusing mainly on completion of the project within the stipulated time. So that is the main focus of PERT. Okay, CPM is focusing on control of cost as well as time. So PERT is focusing on time while CPM is focusing on controlling cost and time. So these are some of the important techniques of control. So who is a leader is one who guide and direct other people. Okay, so according to Chester Bernard, leadership is considered as a quality of behavior of individual. They can guide the people or their activities in an organized effort. So leader is a person who is able to guide and direct other people. Okay, so there are different characteristics for leadership. So it's a process of influence. It is related to a particular situation, and if the employees are satisfied with their leader, it can lead to the better performance from their end, and that can ultimately lead to an organization effectiveness. So leadership has a great role as far as an organization is concerned, right? So there are different theories you have to study under leadership. So before getting into that, let's look into the three important styles of leadership. One is autocratic style, then democratic style or participative style of leadership, then free reign style of leadership. Okay, so autocratic leader means he gives the order and it should be obeyed by the subordinate. So that is an autocratic leader. So his decision is the ultimate one, no one can question it. Then comes the participative or democratic leader. So participative and democratic leader, he gives instruction only after consultation with the subordinate. So he is ready to hear the voice of his subordinate. So that will definitely increase his acceptance among the employees, and it can improve the cooperation and it can improve the employee morale. So that is a democratic or participative style of leadership. It's a decentralized organizations commonly focusing on these type of leadership style. Then come the free reign or laissez-faire. So there the leader is not leading anything, and he is a passive player there. The subordinates are more active in the organizational activities, right? So that is coming under free reign. So these are the three important leadership styles. Okay, let's look into the theories of leadership. So when we are coming to the theories of leadership, it is mainly divided into four headings. One is behavioral theories, then contingency theory, then trait theory, and power and influence theory. So what do you mean by uh, behavioral theory? So behavioral theory says that what does a good leader do? Focus on how leaders behave. So that is a specific behavior that makes a leader. If you have a specific behavior, that will make you a leader. So that is coming under behavioral theory. We will discuss these. There are different theories coming under behavioral theories that we will discuss in the upcoming slide. Then contingency theory. Contingency theory state that the situation, how a situation influence a leadership. So on in contingency theory, the leader's style is judged on the basis of how he handled the situation, right? So that is coming under contingency theory. And then come the trait theory. Trait theory focusing on the specific trait that makes a leader an effective one. Okay, so like he has fairness and objectivity, his openness to openness to new ventures or new initiative, he has high level of self confidence, he has maturity to take good decision, he is self motivated one, he has a human approach. So these all are some of the traits that will make you a leader. So that is the trait theory is focusing on the traits that make a leader, right? Then power and influence theory. Power and influence theory, they are focusing on the different sources of leaders power. So the leaders have certain set of power and influence that will help them to get the things done from their subordinate. So that powers main sources are personal power, legitimate power. Personal power means as a person you have certain power over the other person, so that is mainly due to your charisma. Then legitimate power, if you are holding a particular position, that position give you some legitimate power to control your subordinate. Then expert power, if you are an expert in a particular domain, that will give you a power over your subordinates or your supporters, right? Then political power, that is the political leaders have a power over their followers, so that is politically acquired power. So these are some of the sources of leadership power. So these are some of the important theories that we are going to discuss in the upcoming slide, right? So the theories of leadership, we are going to discuss the trait theory. So first one is trait theory. So the previous slide we discussed that there are different characteristics of the leader that will make him an effective one. So the trait theory is focusing on the specific trait that will make a leader effective one. So like I told, the intelligence of the leader, controlling power, his integrity, human nature, then ability to control. So these all are fairness and objectivity, then acceptance of responsibility. So these all are some of the traits that will make a leader effective. And so in trait theory they are not considering any other aspects of the leadership, right? Only the trait is considered as a benchmark for an effective leader. Then comes the behavioral theory. When we are coming to the behavioral theory, we have different studies. So behavioral theory is focusing on the specific behavior that will make a leader effective. So behavioral theory, we have University of Iowa study, then continuum of leaders behavior, Michigan study, Ohio State University study, managerial grade study. So we will discuss each one in a detailed manner. So first we are going to University of Iowa. So University of Iowa study that is proposed by Lickert. So according to Lickert, there are three styles of leadership that we already discussed, that is the autocratic types of leader, then democratic as well as laissez-faire. Leader is a democratic, means is ready to take take the opinion from his subordinate. Autocratic means I am the boss, you have to follow. Laissez-faire means he is a passive role playing one, right? Then come the continuum of leaders behavior. So continuum of leader behavior saying that there are different sets of leadership style a leader can adopt when he is moving from the autocratic to the democratic leaders. So that is depending upon the situation as well as depending on the time. A leader can go from the autocratic to the democratic or democratic to the autocratic. In between he can adopt different styles of leadership style. So that is continuum of leaders behavior, right? Now coming to the next important study, that is University of Michigan study. So University of Michigan study, there are two important styles they discuss, that is employee centered leaders and job centered leaders. Employee centered leaders means they are relationship oriented leaders. They are focusing on the welfare of the employee. They are considering employee as a human being, okay? So they are ready to take care of the well-being of their subordinates. So that is an employee centered leader or a relationship oriented leader. When we come to the job centered leader, that is a production oriented leader. He is not focusing on any other aspects. He wants the things to get done within the proper time. So he's an active participant in the function and he is closely monitoring the subordinates, right? So that's a job centered one. So two terms you have to remember: employee centered and job centered, that is coming under University of Michigan study. So these are the two leadership styles. When coming to the Ohio State University study, they are focusing on two other styles, that are initiating structures and consideration. Initiating structure means that type of leaders are focusing on the methods, that is there should be a formal method, formal procedure, and formal communication channels. So these things they are very much focused on. So the employee relationship is completely formalized one, like in a centralized organization. So that is an initiating structure leaders. Then or consideration style means they have a consideration towards their subordinate, and they are focusing more on relationship building, that is trust, integrity, then friendship, get the consulting with their subordinates. So these all are happening in consideration type of leaders. Okay, so these are the two important dimensions. Then comes the managerial grid. Managerial grid or leadership grid, so it was proposed by Blake and Mountain. So there they have discussed the two dimensions. So that is the leaders have a concern for production and some leaders have concern for people. So when they are plotting this concern for production and people in a graph, that is they have found 5 leadership style. So first leadership style is task oriented leaders. So task leaders means they are focusing only on the task, they are not focusing on the employees welfare. So that is a task leader. Then come to the country club leader. So country club leader means he is focusing on the welfare of the people, that is his 9 here, 9 is in the y axis. So that means he is focusing on the concern for people more than the production. Then impoverished means he has neither concern for people neither for the production. So that is a impoverished leadership style. Team based leader means he has equal consideration for production and people. So that's the best type of leadership style. Then middle road means okay, average consideration for the for production and people. So that is the middle road one. So these are important one. So you have to remember the two dimensions, that is concern for production, concern for people, and along with that you have to remember the 5 leadership style, that is task leader, the country club leader, impoverished leader, team leader, as well as middle road leader. So these are the important concepts coming under behavioral theory. Once again, University of Iowa study, continuum of leadership behavior, University of Michigan study, Ohio State University study, and managerial grid leadership or grid, right? So next is situational theory, that we will discuss in the next slide. Then transformative leadership, that also we will discuss in the upcoming slide, right? I hope things are clear. So first we are going to discuss the Parkour theory of leadership, that is coming under situational theory. So under situational theory you have to study Parkour theory and Fettler's contingency model. So Parkour theory of leadership was proposed by Robert House. So here there are two factors that are affecting the leadership style. So depending on these two factors, leader will select the leadership style. So first is the subordinate characteristics, the need for affiliation, preference for structure, desire for control, self-perceived level of task ability. So these are some of the subordinate characteristics. Another environmental factors like task structure, primary work group. So these all factors will be affecting the leadership style decision. Okay, so there are 4 type of leadership style as per the Parkour theory. One is a directive leader. So directive leader is similar to the initiating structure, that of Ohio studies. That is, initiating structure means he is focusing on the structured way of organization, right? So he is a task oriented one. Then comes the supportive one. Supportive leaders are, they are consideration based one, that is also from the Ohio. That is, consideration based one means they are focusing on the human relations. Okay, then comes the participative leaders. Participative leaders means a democratic style of leadership. He is ready to take opinion from the subordinate. Achievement oriented leaders means they have a high level of confidence among their confidence in their subordinates. So they are ready to give challenging goals to their subordinate. Okay, so these 4 leadership style will be adopted on the basis of these two factors, right? Environmental factors and subordinate characters. So the focus of these leadership style is to make the path to the goal clear, remove roadblock, provide support and coaching, and ensure the goals are clear and rewards are desirable. So these are the important points you have to remember under Parkour theory of leadership. Then come the Fettler's contingency model. So Fettler's contingency model says that there are 2 important leadership style according to him. That is, one is task oriented one and the other one is relationship oriented one, right? So he says that the leaders have how to consider different situational variables. So that is the uh, subordinates nature, then comes the organizational structure, then organizational structure. So these are some of the, then environmental factors. So these are some of the situational variables. So these situational variables, on the varying of the situational variable, the leader will go for the different leadership style. So that theory says that there is no particular leadership style, there is no specific leadership style that is uh, applicable to all situation. Okay, so we can say that if I am adopting a democratic style, it will be suitable one for all situations. It's not possible. That is the Fettler's contingency model is saying, right? So in leadership, under Fettler's contingency model, he discussed one LPC, that is least preferred coworker questionnaire. He administrated this questionnaire among the employees to rate their managers. So if a manager got high LPC, that means he is a relationship oriented leader. If he is a low LPC received one, that means he is a task oriented leader. So you have to remember that depending upon the situation, leaders have to make their own leadership style, and we can't say that a particular style is suitable for all situations. So that is the main takeaway from Fettler's contingency model. So these all are the important theory that is coming under situational theories of leadership. So let's look into the leadership theories in a snapshot, from great man theory to the transformational leadership. So when we come to the great man theory, here says that leaders are exceptional people. They are born with these set of innate qualities that will make a leader, and these qualities cannot be acquired. So that means leaders are born, they cannot be made. So that is great man theory. When coming to the trait theory, there are certain set of traits that will make a leader effective. Then the behavioral theory. Behavioral theory is stating that there are certain specific set of behaviors that will make a leader effective one. So under behavioral theory, we discuss the Ohio studies, then Michigan studies, then managerial grid, etc. Right? Now coming to the situational leadership, there are certain situational that will make a leader effective. Okay, so that is under situational theory, we discuss the contingency theory, then path call theory, etc. That is, there is no specific set of leadership style that will be effective at all circumstances, but depending upon the situation, leaders have to frame the leadership style, right? Then another two important leadership styles are transactional and transformational leaders. Transformational leaders are those leaders that are transforming you or a subordinate from something to a something better from the current situation. So that is, they are intellectually stimulating, they have a high charisma that will influencing the subordinate, and they are ready to make a shift from the current situation, current beliefs, and to a better version. So that is a transformation, that is transforming you. Transactional leaders means an exchange relationship. The leader is directing you to attain a goal, and at the end process both are getting benefited. So that is known as transactional leaders, transactional and transformational leaders, right? So these all are the important theories we discussed under leadership. I hope things are clear. So that's all for this video. So we covered the important topics of block number 3, that is the leadership theory, and one more topic is there, that is motivational theories, that I will discuss in another video that I will upload within 1 or 2 days. Okay, so I hope the things are clear to you. If any doubt, please drop it in the comment box, I will address it, right? So let's wind up with the quote of Buddha. Your mind is a powerful thing. When you filter it with positive thoughts, your life will start to change. So let's filter your thoughts and focus more on positive things, and definitely your life will be transformed into something better, right? Okay, so all of you stay safe and healthy, take care of your family and take care of your health too. Okay, study well. So we'll meet again with another video within 1 or 2 days. Till then, take care. Thank you.